Okay guys, I'm going to show you how to do all the compression mods to get the best consistency. So after you do
Hello
that,
YouTube.
do that thing where you put the Teflon tape around the cylinder head, and after you stretch the O-rings out, after you take the O-rings off of the cylinder head and the piston head, and you put them you wrap them around the clean. You have to clean your cylinder, like just like with a cloth or some shit. Nothing abrasive, just a cloth, like you could do with fucking cotton and shit. Basically, you take the O-rings off of there, you clean them up, you put them on the cylinder head, you put them on the cylinder, and then you get an object of some sort, like you use like a fucking fork or something, and you just like tug on them a little bit. So you just tug on them. You can use one of those picking things, like one of those nail. There's a name for this thing. What's this thing called? Manicure set. You get like one of those nail like fucking nail. One of those toe jam pickers. One of those things. Fuck, I can't find it. You know what I'm talking about. It's like a little stick thing. You could probably use a toothpick if you wanted to. It has to be a clean one. Obviously, just keep everything as clean as possible. And you stretch it out, and then you just stretch it out. You just stretch it out like real good. Some good stretches. Stick it on there, and like you have to put some dielectric grease on the piston head and the cylinder head, and then you stick the O-rings on both of them, right? Just the O-rings that are originally on them, and you put some dielectric grease over that, and then you put some Teflon tape on the cylinder head, like over the dielectric grease. Not too much grease, because you don't want it to squish. And then what you do is you put dielectric grease over the tape, the Teflon tape. Like this. Like that, and if you have like one layer, you have to start at one layer, and that if that one layer doesn't fix your compression issue, like if you fix the piston, like you've already stretched it out and shit, it you put one layer on there, it's not enough because you've done everything like compression. You put another layer of Teflon tape on that, dielectric grease that shit like over that again. It seems like you're making a sandwich, but you're not. It's kind of like it's like a little bit of a thin layer, but not really. And we just stick that on there, and that's number one right there. Number two is you do the dental floss mod, which is when you get your packing, you know. You're packing on the barrel, right? You take it out of the thing like this, and then you put some dental floss on it. You just tie it up with some fucking dental floss. I recommend you get the fluoride-free shit because you don't want that stuff on you. You could do this any kind of thing. Fishing line might work. I'm not really sure, but dental floss is really great. And then over that dental floss, you put some Teflon tape. Just Teflon tape it, like from here to here. You just put the Teflon tape. It should work pretty well. I don't really know. Obviously, you have to stick some dielectric grease right in this little area right here and around it, and then you put the Teflon tape over that, and then you put some dielectric grease over the Teflon tape. Just fuck yeah. You put some dielectric grease on the packing as well. Another modification you could do is you seal the you seal the space between the hop up and the gearbox, and there's quite a bit of ways to do that, but a lot of guns have some compensators and shit. A lot of them just have the thing stuck just right on there, so there's like a thing you stick like a big fucking O-ring on it. I'm not really sure what diameter. You could probably find a guide on that, like airsoft what O-ring to stick on pop-up. You could just find it. And basically just seal it up with some dielectric grease on there, obviously. It's some great stuff. And another mod that people don't really know anything about is the one that I invented a bit back. Probably, I don't know if I invented it or not. Basically, you get the cylinder head, and you get the brass tube, and you put some dielectric grease on the brass tube, not too far up on it, because you don't want that shit to get in the barrel. You do not want that shit in the barrel. What you want to do is you just have that on there, just like this lot of grease, and you just stick that right on there. A better solution is you just get a better fucking nozzle, you idiot. If you're really gonna go hardcore into this, just buy a new nozzle, a nozzle with a good O-ring on it. All right, just get one of those. End of fucking story. And if you have any more compression problems, you need to replace some parts. So let's say you already replaced the nozzle, it's still fucked. Like, oh, I'm getting plus or minus 2 FPS. I want to go really airtight. Well, what you do is you just swap out your piston. Because with your cylinder head and cylinder, you could fix that problem easily. You just get a metal cylinder head maybe, or you could just JB weld it or something. There are a lot of glues you could use. You could use super glue to put it on there. You just put some super glue on there, and what happens is the super glue will completely cut off the air. There's no air. None. You could do that if you want. Cyanoacrylate glue is the best. It's just the best glue. Just get one of those. And I actually do recommend you put a liberal amount of dielectric grease in the hop up. Like you have the let me sec. Like where the nub goes into the thing. What the fuck this shit is? When the nub goes into the whatchamacallit, like it just goes down into there. Basically, you just take some grease, some dielectric grease on that shit. It's just another way where this shit comes out of there. Put some grease on the whatchamacallit over here. You know, just grease that shit up. Dielectric grease is really thick, and it does not like to dry up that much. It just works. Now, if this still doesn't work, I don't know what to do, man. I just don't know what to do. There's probably something to do with your magazine. You know, there might be something to go down like with your mag. I say get a mid cap and have it be completely airtight. There you go. Final solution. You just holocausted your compression issues. There's no fucking way you have compression issues unless it's with a piston. Eventually you will start getting compression issues because your O-rings, man, you got to replace them or like fuck with them or something. And once you can't fuck with them, like it's hard for you to continue fucking with them because it's like I don't know. There's something to do with like tension or some shit. Like just some O-rings that I have are just garbage and I can't use them. Once you do that, you just buy some new ones. You know, there you go. You got your plus or minus 0 FPS. I don't know, man. Maybe you did. It depends on your voluming. I say you should just under volume always under volume just a bit, just to compensate for your compression loss and FPS loss and shit. So whatever your highest number is, you can just have it as that. I mean, your lowest number, you have it as that, because you never really want to be under volumed. So yeah, over volume. That's what I was trying to say. There are some other places where you can get compression loss, but like the nozzle, I'm not sure if the O-ring will last very long because it's always got like some friction on there. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Someone please figure this out. Like I want to know. Oh yeah, this other thing. Polish your cylinder. Go here. AKK's guide on polishing your cylinder. Just polish your cylinder. Get some fucking car wax. Stick it on there. Easy peasy. How you stick that on there is you get it. You you get like a piece of paper, like a cut piece of paper, and you stick the wax on that shit, and then you just go, stick it on a drill, you go, go, and that's how it works. I also forgot something else on the thing with the barrels. You have to relap the Raven barrel if you want to keep that performance up. And you don't really need to buy any other barrels. You could just R-hop a stock barrel or G-hop it. It's just a regular ass stock barrel. You could just do that with it. Just lap it and R-hop or G-hop it. And it will give you some pretty dang good performance. Like, you'll get some 260, 270 foot shots. It'll work. I forgot about like the M-nub thing too. I was gonna put that in the description. They're pretty easy to make. You don't really need to do a lot of stuff with it. What I recommend you do is, instead of having like a block, you cut it like a bit flatter, so you don't have to cut off the arm, the hop-up arm. So if you want to do some regular stuff, like not have 300 feet of range, you could just get a regular old nub. It's just a fucking block. You just make like a block that's shaped like the hole for the hop-up thing, and then that's what it is. And it has to be a little tiny bit smaller, just like not even half a millimeter. I'd say like a third of a millimeter max. No, not even yeah, actually about like a third of a millimeter. Maybe a fourth of a millimeter shorter than the barrel window, because you got to get the thingamabob in there. But yeah, that's about it.